Hey everybody, thanks for subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. We appreciate it more than you'll know. We can't thank you enough. I wanted to touch on a couple things, and I'm not going to have a whole lot of time when I get home. JL's not going to get back till after dark, and I'll have to take care of the water and the feed, poop scooping, welfare check, the whole deal tonight. So I'll be probably busy till right around dark. And but I the couple of things, like I said, I wanted to touch on. One is that we as caretakers of the breed, we as owners of American Pit Bull Terriers, are in we're in a fellowship, and we are tied together by the breed, and I don't have a problem sharing what little bit I know. The tips, tricks, things you do to make your life easier. I remember when I did my first chain spot, I didn't know you needed to put a swivel on it. I kept wondering why the chain kept getting all knotted up, and I had to go out there and unhook a dog, hold on to the dog, and flop the chain around. And I didn't know. There's no shame in that. I was told, and I adapted that, because if it works for you, I'm not so special that I don't think that it can't work for me. So that's something that we do and have taken to heart. The trips that, I don't have to take everything everybody does and use it. If I'm looking for a way to do something, there's a group of people that I get a hold of and ask questions of. It's funny, but that group is shrunk. And I guess that's just natural with the dogs, because it's that's I think a natural progression, where it gets real wide and then it shrinks back down. Another thing that I wanted to touch on, and before I get to that, I didn't know about the mayonnaise and putting weight on your dogs. I knew about the cottage cheese, but that's just something that somebody shared, and that's something good to know, especially for people in colder or people in climates like it's getting ready. Not Sunday, our high here is going to be 36 and our low 16. That means Sunday night into Monday morning, I'll have to set my alarm for 1 o'clock, and I'll get up at 1 o'clock and go out and give kibble and warm water to dogs, because of the cold, the climate we live in, our dogs not being used to that cold like that. So in them teen days, that's what I do, in the teens and below. Give them something warm on their belly. But this week, adding a spoonful of mayo on their food a couple nights, or mayo and then cottage cheese, and getting that little bit of extra fat on them, that might help them get through the night. You never know. So that's just something that we share with each other to help each other out. I talked about in a previous video about Babesia. There's Canis and Gibsonia, and my pronunciations might be off. You just have to forgive that. I've got a weird way of pronouncing stuff at times. The two types that affect dogs, and they're prevalent in the American Pit Bull Terrier. I see it, and it runs in cycles. The people posting about it, their dog's got it, what do they do? The people got the cure, they don't got the cure, put it in remission, you'll never see it again, and all the stuff that you see. And that's something that is a death sentence for an animal. Regardless of what you've heard or any of that, it's like a human getting AIDS. You can put it in remission, you can stop it. Magic Johnson had AIDS. He got all them treatments, all that stuff. Supposedly he's HIV, AIDS free. I don't know anybody that would stick a needle in Magic Johnson and pull out blood and then jam it in their arm. I know I wouldn't. Just ain't happening. It's the same with Babesia in these dogs. It can get put in remission. I think the FDA has approved is a couple different drugs. It's stuff that they use to treat malaria for bloodborne. I know clindamycin is one of them, and the other I'm not even going to try and pronounce. I know old timers, they treat it like it's no great big deal. And I know people, there was a gentleman who sent me a message. This has been 3-4 years ago. He wanted to know if he could still use his dogs in the manner he uses them, even though he knows they have Babesia. And my response to him was, that's a moral dilemma you're going to have to struggle with on your own. But there's, you keep the ticks off your dogs. You keep teeth out of your dogs. That's the only way to guarantee your dogs aren't going to get it. Don't stud your dog out to everything. It's bloodborne. The male rubs himself raw, and the female, he busts the blood vessel, whatever the deal is. It's just, scientifically speaking, at this point in time, there's no known cure. And it can be put in remission, and it may never show up again, and it may show up when the animal's stressed. One old timer told me that he got a very well-bred bitch, and she had Babesia. They took her to the vet, and this was years ago. The vet said, we've cured it. She doesn't test for it anymore. And it's before they knew what they know nowadays, and they bred the bitch. And he really thought that she was cured, and the stress of pregnancy caused it to come back. All the pups died within the first 2 weeks. So that's, it's something to keep in mind. That there's people out there that aren't going to tell you exactly what they have, why they have it, what's going on with it. And, you know, because not the only one that's really looking out for me is me. Me and JL. These guys, all they know it's feeding time. Water time, feeding water time. But, the one last thing that I wanted to touch on before I go in, you know, I've got my haters out there, and they can kiss my ass. I really don't care. And to think that I sit here and go on other people's YouTube and so I can have something to talk about is asinine. I do get on Facebook a little bit, and you know, there's a gentleman still to this day, it blows my mind, still to this day, he got parvo. His dog got parvo. He's looking for the treatment. I gave it the shot. Well, somewhere along the line, somebody screwed up. You don't just give it one shot for parvo. It's a series of shots. You know, your dogs get a booster, believe it or not, an annual booster. We give our dogs, every dog out here on the yard will get a shot once a year. But to think that I go and look at people's stuff so I have something to talk about. I could walk from dog to dog on my yard and give you the stories and the details and the backgrounds on it. And then just start over. You know? Moo moo. But I'm going to get off here. Again, thanks everybody. I've been on my soapbox. Help each other out. Pass off good information to each other. Let each other know that there's alternative ways of doing stuff out there. Anyway, thanks again. Subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. We appreciate it.